All right, guys, here we're talking about the movie VFW. 2019's VFW, Lee. Had you seen it before?
No, but people were saying, like, you should watch this.
Yeah.
Have you seen it? It's really good. I was good. People kept saying stuff like that. And they're all wrong.
I like anything that's like a zombie movie that's not exactly a zombie movie. This is a bunch of drugged up users that are kind of in a mob, and I like that.
Yeah, we got future drugs, we got a VFW hall, and we got hilarity ensuing.
Well, really what you're here for is like the names that are associated with the movie. You have just every famous old actor all in one pile.
It's the Space Cowboys of 28 Days Later.
That could be a tagline.
Or like Dread, the new Dread almost, but not really.
There are Dread vibes.
It's got, there's some, again, there's a lot,
there's a lot to go into. This is a fun movie.
I didn't think it was a fun movie.
That was fun.
So, you're acting like that's just...
I speak for both of us.
I have so much to say. Oh, you just can't wait.
So if you've seen it or don't care, fall over to spoilers, and if not, pull out now.
If you need a place to rent content, you better listen. We're Cannibal Video and we eat the competition.
Alright guys, here we are for the spoilers of VFW. Lee, you hated it. We have the spoilers.
Trash movie, didn't like it.
What?
Very disappointed.
Go into some detail here.
I'm never good defending my positions because I always feel like you'll just be like, well, yeah, duh.
Alright, well, I'll say what I liked.
But this time I'm prepared.
Okay.
Don't fucking, what are you doing?
Alright, I don't want to sandbag you here.
How dare you? Mm-hmm. No, you put me on the spot is what you do, but that's fine. Because I knew this was going to happen.
The show is.
I knew this was going to happen this time. And I should have known years ago, but this time I know.
I should know every Friday.
I should have known that you were going to do this to me. No, so like problem number one, I feel like, is that it's not interesting enough.
This is bullshit. You're bullshit.
And when I say interesting, I mean my definition from my childhood.
Okay, no aliens.
Aliens, vampires, robots, zombies, something interesting.
They're on the cusp of zombie.
They are literally not. This is old guys versus drug addicts.
How many people tits up by a bunch of goddamn junkies?
Fucking get out!
Ah, shut up!
Which is the most fucking boring thing, literally the most boring thing ever, right? And listen, it didn't have to be, but then having watched the movie, that's my second problem is I think it's very small and very self-contained in a way that made me laugh. So like I enjoyed this movie as like I can't believe they're taking this seriously, but like I don't feel like that's how most people
by
enjoy
design
this movie.
It is small,
which is great. I love small.
Originally, it was going to be an epic.
I liked Phone Booth.
Coming out!
Answer the phone.
Fucking coward.
Well, I did not like.
That's the smallest thing you could possibly. It's not even a room.
This was going to have a $20 million budget. At least that's what the script was written for. They expected a $20 million budget.
And they got two?
And it got purchased and had under one.
Okay, I was going to say.
So
I wasn't sure how low to make my guess to be funny, but I didn't want to say like
from
$10?
Having like the boss of the bad guy across the street was going to be in like an apartment building, like kind of like a raid situation, and like that girl's escape was going to be this big thing, and all these different floors of people trying to stop her and whatnot. There was going to be a lot more action-filled things going to happen here, and we just couldn't do that. So like yes. You're right there. We're like, it is toned down. It is reserved from what it could have been, and it does feel that way. But I'll say the parts that won me over were this cast is amazing.
Lasers.
Moonraker, blasting cunt hairs from outer space.
So like, you've got Death himself here.
This piece of shit's on its last legs.
You've got our Cobra Kai boy.
I'm an animal.
Yeah, goddamn snake.
You've got
Some woman tried to kill me in the parking lot.
Don't Breathe. You've got all kinds of people here that I'm like, awesome. Norm from fucking Cheers gets his fucking head fucked.
Holy shit!
So that was my alternate cold open. If you didn't put me on the spot and ask me why I hated it, I was going to say, at first I was really excited. I thought like, what is this? Like, it's kind of like a prequel or something, and I guess by the end you find out how he got blind. Right? You just do that one. I was going to be like, yeah!
Yeah, boy!
Yeah, boy!
Because it's also Detroit, right? Which is also where I think Don't Breathe took place.
I've never even seen Don't Breathe.
Well, there's two of them.
I know that.
Yeah. But no, like there's this great cast here, and I
The
definitely
cast is
enjoy
good.
those people.
I couldn't figure out who the fuck the one guy was.
Which one's that?
I'm about to say it because
right.
I'm mid-sentence, but yes, like, oh, he's the fucking Cobra. You're,
Yeah,
you know, your boy. To me, he was just
Crocodile 2 Death Swamp is where you would love him from.
You're supposed to be the best tracker around, huh?
What did you expect? Lancelot?
Jesus.
To me, it was just, who's this weird Italian guy? That's all I thought.
Is he Italian?
I don't even know if he's
I don't
Italian.
think he's Italian.
Had a little bit of
maybe
like
he's Italian.
how you doing
What is
thing.
Cove? That could be anything.
That could be anything.
Yeah. That might even be a stage name.
It ends in a vowel.
Yeah.
And it's a stage name.
Yeah, I think it might be. Martin Cove sounds like a fake name.
It does. It sounds too. Okay. The point is, let's just pick him.
Sure.
He's walking over. I'm gonna negotiate, and you're not sure how to take that yet, and they undercut it by having him like rehearsing to himself.
Let's make a deal. Let's close the deal. I mean, how can I get you in this car today, huh? Sure.
Which I'm like, you're fucking 100 years old. You shouldn't be talking to yourself like you're Jonah Hill trying to psych yourself up to do this. You should think you already, okay, fine. He's talking to himself. Then he gets there and it's this pathetic thing, was shot at like a medium distance.
Negotiate with me. This is what I do. You know Lose Used? Maybe you've seen some of my my ads on TV.
And it's just them talking, and then he eventually kills them. And there's no interesting, like, I didn't see that one coming. It's just boring.
No. Our bad guys too. A lot of people felt like that's the poor man's whatever. Like his right hand woman, that girl.
Yeah.
She felt like a worse version of like the tattooed face girl from Doomsday, where you're like, oh, I love you, but you, I'm like, no feelings.
Don't say a fucking word.
What did you do?
Well, and like,
I like the big tanky guy he had. I thought that guy was cool. His death was very like unceremonious style. So I was like, oh, he died by toothpicks or a fucking what do you call that thing? A bottle opener.
corkscrew.
Corkscrew.
Was it a corkscrew?
Yeah, it was. It was.
No, and like a lot of that can work. It's fine. But it felt like the music and the lighting and the tone and like what's happening felt very, 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 very not the right thing. It feels like Doomsday. It has like like music's playing and there's like pink and turquoise lighting everywhere.
That's the kind of thing I
and
picture though when you think of drugs.
Yeah.
Like
yes,
and I imagine a lot of that harsh lighting was probably to hide. It's all practical effects.
Yeah,
so I think like you needed that tonality to be like that skin looks fake as fuck, bruh.
Listen.
What can
That's
we
fine.
bask it in light?
I understand if they got like backed into a corner with their previous live and decisions, but as cinematic experience now, I'm kind of watching it thinking like this is he's 80 years old, like and okay, the whole plot line here is they picked the wrong VFW hall to fuck with, and it's just this random thing where the girl runs in.
I started this.
She's got the drugs, and there are these old guys that are trying to enjoy their lives.
And then you can't say no, because this is a celebration. And we're not celebrating in this shithole.
And now the supervillain across the street is gonna like point menacingly at their VFW hall for like 3 hours.
Veterans of foreign wars.
Soldiers? Good. Soldiers are good at dying.
While a horde of dudes runs in, they have to easily kill them, it seems like.
Yeah.
Like it's the most I'm sorry, it's the most boring premise in the world.
That's more, I think, budgetary stuff. So like
Yes.
it's like let's send waves of 12 instead of waves of hundreds because we don't have it.
Yeah, and
because
like
you know that in like a different movie, like
Yeah.
a bigger budget movie, that big 1.5 ton truck that's like outside with the big gun, they would have been mowing them down with that
my
gun,
God.
like or running them down or doing something.
and they even put the line in, like, is there ammo in that? And he's like, what? The
This thing got any ammo?
The 50 cal? No.
fuck are you talking? The 50
I'm sure
cal,
in the
you
first
idiot?
script, yeah, of course there is.
Duh.
We're ready for war.
Just in case! And he's fucking like
William
driving
Sadler,
around.
I'm a big fan of
Okay,
his.
yeah.
I think he's great and everything. It's so nice to see him because he's usually like he has a bad guy face. So like when he's a good guy,
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, boy, get it.
Remember the Alamo. Yeah, but they all died at the Alamo. Yeah.
Dumb shit.
He did a really good job here. A lot of them
he's
did.
funny.
I'm like, you guys are good. I have no complaints about the guys. All my complaints are the writing. They just had to make a new script to fit their new budget. What are you talking about?
What is the guy from Dust Till Dawn? Something Williams. He's the one like snorts the cocaine. He's like, ah!
What gives her the right to cut off her pussy hairs? For pussy.
Kind of doesn't get to do anything really fun after that.
Yeah, he has a boring normal name.
Something Williams.
Well, it's like Williamson, but it's like Fred. It's just a normal name.
Fred Williams?
Williamson.
Williamson? That's his son.
The point is, no, you're thinking of his father, Old Man Williams.
Yeah.
But
like, I like him,
yeah, he's cool.
And
like,
I don't think he got a lot of the cool stuff to do in this, though.
And like you were expecting again, like I didn't know how small the budget was when I watched it, and I was rooting for them. I was trying to get him to pull something out, but he like snorts a face full handfuls of drugs.
Whoa! Hey! Oh, Jesus!
And you're like, oh,
he's gonna go berserk on these motherfuckers with that knife that we've been looking at hanging from the fucking wall.
And he's been looking at at the knife. Now we'll get to see how the drugs affect you from the first person.
Yeah.
We'll get a whole sequence where he's fighting guys, and it's like POV. And
I picture like he's Bane, and he like tears someone in half. Like,
I mean, they're not Banes, so you have to understand.
But they also have not taken the drugs. They're down
jonesing for
looking for the drugs.
Yeah.
And you saw like, and that's the zombie-ish like aspect of it. And the only part you see it is that these people are like drones, and that first girl, Lizard's sister, who like walks off a cliff to get the drugs. I'm like, yeah, like they're zombies, not in the sense of like brains, but in that like they don't have free will anymore.
No, and like they're desperate anyway, and like they even lampshade it where she says like, how do you expect this army of fucking strung out junkies to do your thing? And he's like, hey, it's still an army, and they'll eventually do it.
It's very true.
And you're like, all right.
An army of brain dead animals is still an army.
Point is, yes, like everything's fine. I'm not here to say that there's one fatal flaw that ruins the picture. I was just super bored and waiting for something interesting to happen, and even the stuff that I thought was going to happen didn't happen. And I feel like this like we should be mature enough as people to say, hey, sometimes movies come out and they're bad, and we can just say, I really like these people. I wish the movie had been better. Fingers crossed for next time.
It could have definitely been better. I still enjoyed it though.
Horror fans are maniacs. Anything that's like slightly good, they're like, oh, it's so good. I love it. Have you seen it? It's great.
It was mainly the interaction between this cast of characters where I'm like, oh, I like these people. Like they feel like friends and like things that could exist.
Don't kill them all at once now.
Fuck it. No, I'm not gonna leave any of them for you.
I like the sound of that, Gordy.
I like that you're fighting this army of strung out weirdos because that's kind of the only scenario that makes sense. Like, as a person who's been straight edge for quite a while, I've fought a number of drunks, and it's very easy to kill a drunk. And in the same thing here, you have people that are actually militarily trained and are ready to fight, and you have people that are like, I haven't eaten a good meal in weeks. I'm like hungover. I'm on drugs.
What I thought
it makes sense that this actually could happen. Like they're not superheroes.
What I thought you were gonna say is that to that point that they're so old and everything that obviously the only opponent that they could be capable of defeating would be the most weakened, also pathetic.
You're not thinking of
on
one of the greatest laws of nature, old man strength.
Yeah.
They are the oldest they've ever been. Thus,
every day
they are the strongest.
Exactly.
This is like Goku training in fucking 100 G or whatever.
9,999.
I would have loved a movie. I like Bubba Hotep.
Sure.
Right? We have old people fighting an equally pathetic old, but that's because they are aware of what they're doing. Here, I think they thought, oh my God, these are the most badass old people ever. I have to give them an equally badass opponent.
A little surprised there's no Danny Trejo in there, aren't you?
I know.
Well,
he's busy.
Honestly, he's probably filming 6 other movies while filming this.
Wherever this was filmed was not in the place that Danny usually hangs out. So he's busy
there are parts though
filming
that do
things there.
Like express it, like we're old now. Like when he gets kicked in the chest and he's like, I'm dead. I was like, honestly, if anybody gets big booted into the chest, you're cracked sternum, it's gonna be hard to breathe, you might die. So like I like seeing a reaction that makes sense. And we did get that, and they are like 70 years old, I think, in real life.
The actors, Stephen Lang is 70 something. He's in his 70s.
He looks good, though.
He looks good, and that's real fine.
Good. I don't regret a thing.
But, like, I don't know. I'm still not... I don't even want to see a real action movie where someone can defeat people even though they're old, and it's like, oh, he's the best. Like even that is, like, cliche and shitty to me. So to be at this point now where I must believe a supernatural event can occur, or whatever you want to call it, borderline. Paranormal event could occur, and they'd be like, sure, we're fine with this.
It's certainly parallel to normal.
Yeah.
But it's Detroit, so this is honestly
off
a Tuesday.
To the side or whatever. Yeah, exactly. It's also crazy that the bad guys... So at first I thought it was just a byproduct of the filmmaking, and I was like, okay, the bad guys look like they're just in front of this building just talking.
Heavy stuff. Hard stuff. I'm tired of fucking playing games.
It looks like, oh, you and I had to film the bad guys, so we just found a theater because there's a big lit thing at night, and we don't have to put lights up. And then we just had like the bad guys stand in front of it and talk to each other and point menacingly. We're gonna get those drugs next, and just do all those scenes.
Yeah.
So part of me was like, okay, it's a small budget. Clearly, I'm not gonna hold them as if like I understand how movies work. It's not that the bad guys are literally 100 feet away across the street. That would be ridiculous, right? For them to be across. You see where this is going now.
Yeah, they are.
Eventually, not only can they see them, they have a direct line of sight. But they can hear, he's shouting, and they're like, I heard you, I'm gonna respond.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is so bad.
It's what you want! You let him go! You let my friend go!
I think all that part was filmed in like Texas somewhere, but all the exterior like driving stuff, I think that is Detroit.
A militia mentality here or anything like that, but I'm saying that people need to take this into their own hands. The cops can't do anything anymore.
Oh, okay.
Like the theater and the VFW, I think are in Texas. But I think whenever he's driving the truck in the beginning and you see like crackheads and things are happening, I think that's all Detroit.
Okay, there can be mixed. Whatever.
I think so.
Okay.
I think it opens relatively strong. The action opens up. So like when she just runs in and that guy just comes in and like fucking axes that dude.
Jesus Christ!
I like that dude a lot, so I wasn't expecting him to get it.
And it's actually great that because he's old, and also because like I'm trying to salvage like what's funny, what actually works, you know, because of specifically what's unique to this movie.
Yeah.
And he sees a girl running from like it looks like far away, and then he is an old motherfucker, so he turns around, walks inside. You don't see it all, but he strolls in. Hey, there's some and he gets like fucking because she's running full tilt, and he's like, oh, there's a girl outside, and he gets knocked over like right in the middle of his sentence, which is a perfect way to like crank up the urgency of the situation, the chaos and stuff.
That's what's so great about it is how the chaos of it, how it unfolds so quickly. It's like because what is happening, and now it's like we're all in jeopardy. Well, the guy's head gets fucking blown off his body. There's no
time for like well do we let her in? Seems like she needs help. Call the cops. Oh, the phone's dead. There's no time for that. She just plows right in, which is great.
I got the one on the left.
Front, Walter, come on! These things are crawling all over the place!
The violence. Another thing about this is the level of violence. I've been dancing around this because I keep forgetting to say it. So everything I've said so far, old guys, close villains, whatever it is, the whole thing would be fine if what I perceive to be the payoff, right? If this movie were a sci-fi movie, there would be gadgets. Oh, if I flip this switch, now it's a tractor beam, whatever. You'd like play with something, right? If they were aliens, you'd find out they lay eggs now. They lay eggs now? Oh no, we gotta fricassee us up an omelet. Like there'd be something happening, right? Here, I feel like the selling point is the like grotesque level of violence.
Yeah.
Sorry, Gordy.
Which I'm cool with, but that is not enough. I'm not becoming erect simply due to some gore.
That's not good for you.
Oh, come on, you fucking kidding me, kid? It's medical.
I need more in my movie than that.
Well, the more is just the names and the violence. That's what the movie has.
Exactly.
Pretty much only.
So now the picture is complete, and we understand why I'm literally saying disliked, not just like, I don't know, I'm like, fuck this movie. No, because like, I don't like just violence for no reason.
Old man.
I like kung fu violence. I like violence I've never seen before.
Gore violence.
This is just boring ass. That they shoot a guy and then the guy looks shot.
Goddamn impatient millennials.
There's a few things that you're about to chime in with that are extraordinary, but not enough for me to be like, you really pushed it, but go ahead.
The parts that put me into like the position of like, oh my god, this is horrible, is there's a guy whose arm gets caught in the door.
All right. Move your ass. Let's go.
And he's trying to get in, and he hacks it right off, and like that's a move right there.
That is a move.
Like, you can feel that guy lose his arm. The most violent moment probably in the whole movie is a dude gets kneed in the face until his head is just pulpy orange, like it's just gone.
Yeah, a dude gets repeatedly kneed and a dude gets repeatedly just stomped on.
Yeah.
But even those are almost tasteful. But yes, those are like ultra violent where like we have to incapacitate this person completely, so we're going to just keep going. And I don't know how you know what's realistic, but it feels realistic.
Your knee would be destroyed from like the level of face that got crushed by that guy.
Again.
And he would be so dead so long before that. But that dude, he's like, I'm fresh off the boat, back from Iraq, or whatever he says. He's like, I gotta just kill and then get my wife.
That's in
Do you have a toothpick?
No, I have a wife. You got any extra toothpicks?
Oh. That's in the wasted opportunities section, where I felt like having one young soldier there. One is enough. Could have done 2 or 3. Could have really had a nice
even
thing.
Just for more bodies, honestly.
So
because you knew how many were going to die.
More bodies, and then we can actually do something and say something about the old fucks and the army and America. It doesn't have to be heavy-handed, but you could have one guy be like, I just joined to pay for college, and then have one of the old fucks be like, haha, me too, you fucking whatever, blah blah blah. Some like weird coming together of the generations, and like, oh, he's like this, he's like that, he didn't come back, neither did my friend whoever. You have little dialogue in there to mix it up and do something special.
You know, great big silicone melons right in my fucking face.
Yeah, sorry to ruin your big fucking evening.
Well, sorry don't feed the bulldog, boy.
Hey, ladies.
Here, I forgot there was a young dude there at one point. I was like, because there's no tasks that the young people or the old people can and should do. There's no dialogue about like, well, they don't, teach us that anymore. Fuck, I learned that in basic, you idiot. There's none of that. Like, you could have a thing where they go, well, hey, we all respect each other, and then that guy could do something where they go, you all suck now, and that guy could prove himself. He could say, witness me as the fucking thing's turning. You could do a little arc there, and they just don't do anything.
Yeah, like, that would have been your opportunity when they're making their little traps and whatever. I had to do these in the foxholes and blah, blah, blah. Like,
Korea
what are you guys doing?
shit,
Oh, this and that.
Right.
Or like, a torture sequence. They have somebody like, what do you go? We didn't, well, that's not what we do in this man's arm. And they're just breaking fingers on a guy or something like.
I prefer to consider them the Geneva suggestions. Ah!
Yeah.
Listen, like you could go a lot of different directions with it, but they just act like it's not even there. I'm like, do they even have to be veterans? Is there even a part? I may have forgotten a part, but I don't even know. I'm like, what the fuck is this movie?
Do they even have? Well, they're in a VFW, so kinda.
Yeah, everyone's just stealing valor.
Well, you could have had a band. It's Thursday night. We play the VFW hall.
Imagine if they're this old band. Does it actually change anything?
It would be a lot less believable.
It's not believable at all now.
I believed every moment of it.
Oh my god.
Alright guys, thanks for watching. Let us know in the comments what you thought about it. Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next time.
If you want to support the show, head over to cannibalvideo.com, pick up some merch.
And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button.
That's alright.
Yeah, that's something.
Whatever.
Fuck these motherfuckers.
Blood! Shit! Oh, great, we're here.
Cannibal Video has everything you need. A wide array of VHS and DVDs. We ate the competition, now it's only us. Our expert staff opinion.